the wedding venue wants their final payment. The caterer needs confirmation for the menu. The photographer is asking about timeline details. The florist wants to deliver arrangements for an event that will never happen. Every phone call is someone asking for money I don't have for a wedding that exists only in their scheduling system. I start calling vendors to cancel everything, which is like performing surgery on your own bank account with a rusty spoon. Since we're less than 30 days out, nobody's giving back deposits. The venue keeps their $4,000 payment. The caterer keeps $2,000. The photographer keeps $1,500. The band keeps $800. It's like paying for a vacation to a place that doesn't exist, except instead of getting travel insurance, I got professionally conned by someone I was planning to marry. The joint bank account situation is even worse than I expected. I log into our online banking expecting to see our normal balance, and instead I'm looking at negative $1,800. Sarah cleaned out everything we had saved, and then some. She took the money we'd been putting aside for the honeymoon, the emergency fund we built up over 2 years, even the cash we'd been saving to buy new appliances. It's like discovering that your roommate didn't just move out. They also sold all your furniture and left you with their unpaid bills. The mortgage payment is due in 10 days, and I don't have enough money to cover it. The house we bought together, the place where we plan to raise our fake baby, might get foreclosed on because my fiancé turned out to be a financial vampire with really good acting skills. I'm looking at possibly losing everything I own because I fell in love with someone who was essentially running a 2-year-long heist disguised as a relationship. My credit cards are maxed out from wedding expenses that seemed reasonable when I thought I was building a future with someone who loved me. Now I'm paying interest on flowers for a wedding that didn't happen, photography for memories that were never real, and catering for guests who ate nothing but disappointment. It's like buying insurance for a car that never existed, except the insurance company still wants their money. Family members keep calling with their own financial damage reports. My aunt flew in from Texas and can't get her plane ticket refunded. My cousin took a week off work and lost vacation pay. My brother bought a new suit specifically for the wedding, and now he's stuck with formal where he'll never use. Everyone lost money because they believed in my relationship, and now I get to be the guy who cost his entire family hundreds of dollars because he couldn't spot a con artist if she was wearing a name tag. The house feels like a museum dedicated to a relationship that never existed. Sarah's stuff is gone, but all our shared purchases are still here, mocking me with their continued existence. The couch we picked out together, the dining table where we ate fake romantic dinners, the bed where she pretended to love me for 2 years. Every piece of furniture is evidence of how completely I misunderstood my own life. I'm basically homeless because I can't afford the mortgage alone, broke because Sarah took everything, and emotionally destroyed because I just discovered that love can be faked so convincingly that you'll pay someone thousands of dollars for the privilege of believing in it. She's probably somewhere planning her next performance while I'm trying to figure out how to restart my entire existence from scratch. But here's the thing about hitting rock bottom. Sometimes it gives you clarity about what really matters. And sometimes, when you're sitting in the wreckage of your entire life, your phone buzzes with a message that changes everything. The fake miscarriage and the final straw. 3 weeks into my complete life meltdown, my phone buzzes with a text message from Sarah. The first direct communication since a robot email breakup. I'm thinking maybe she's finally ready to explain herself or apologize for turning my existence into a smoking crater. Instead, I get a message that's so cruel it should come with a warning label. The text says she had a miscarriage. Just like that, no context, no emotion, just a cold announcement that our baby is gone. But here's where it gets really special. Sarah doesn't just tell me about the miscarriage, she blames me for it. According to her text message, the stress I caused by trying to contact her and figure out what happened led to her losing the baby. So not only am I the guy who got abandoned 3 weeks before his wedding, I'm also apparently responsible for killing my own child through the audacity of wanting answers. Reading that message feels like getting hit by a truck that backs up to make sure it finished the job properly. The pregnancy was the shit on, the one thing about our relationship that I thought might still be real, the one connection between us that couldn't be completely fake. Now Sarah is telling me it's gone, and somehow it's my fault for having the nerve to be confused when my fiancé vanished without explanation. The blame game aspect of this message is so outrageous it would be funny if it wasn't happening to me. Sarah disappears for 3 days, refuses to answer her phone, comes back to pack like a robot, breaks up with me via email, and then claims that my perfectly reasonable response to this insane behavior caused enough stress to end a pregnancy. It's like a masterclass in victim blaming taught by someone with a PhD in psychological warfare. But here's where my brain starts working differently than it has been for the past few weeks. Instead of falling apart with grief over losing the baby, I start thinking about what Sarah's mom told me about the fake pregnancies. If Sarah has done this twice before, if she's never actually been pregnant, then this miscarriage is probably just the final act of her performance. She's not telling me about a real loss. She's just adding one more layer of cruelty to make sure I'm completely destroyed before she moves on to her next victim. The realization that Sarah is probably lying about the miscarriage hits me like a freight train loaded with pure rage. She's not just a con artist who stole my money and ruined my life. She's someone who would fake losing a baby just to inflict maximum emotional damage on her way out the door. It's like discovering that your ex didn't just cheat on you. They also burned down your house and kicked your dog while they were at it. This is the moment when my sadness finally transforms into something much more useful. All those weeks of crying and wondering what I did wrong suddenly crystallize into a white-hot fury that makes me feel like I could bench press a small car. Sarah has pushed the wrong person way too hard, and she's about to find out what happens when you completely destroy someone who has nothing left to lose. The fake miscarriage text is such a calculated piece of cruelty that it actually helps me understand exactly who I'm dealing with. Sarah isn't just someone who made bad choices or got scared about commitment. She's a predator who gets off on causing maximum pain to people who trusted her. The text message isn't about grief or loss. It's about making sure I'm so broken that I never recover enough to cause problems for her. But Sarah made one crucial mistake in her psychological warfare strategy. She assumed that destroying me completely would leave me too weak to fight back. Instead, she just gave me the motivation I needed to stop being a victim and start being something much more dangerous. There's nothing quite like righteous anger to turn a broken person into someone with a very specific set of skills and an unlimited amount of time to use them. I'm sitting in my empty house looking at this text message, and I can feel something shifting inside my brain. The grief and confusion that's been paralyzing me for weeks is getting replaced by a cold, calculating rage that feels like it could power a small city. Sarah thinks she's delivered the killing blow with her fake miscarriage story, but she's actually just provided the fuel I need to become her worst nightmare. The beauty of having nothing left to lose is that it gives you incredible freedom to make choices that responsible people with normal lives can't make. Sarah has destroyed my finances, my reputation, my family relationships, and my ability to trust other human beings. She's taken everything I cared about and burned it to the ground while laughing about it. But she's also freed me from all the social constraints that keep decent people from pursuing total revenge. I start thinking about what Sarah's mom told me about her pattern, about the other victims she's destroyed, about how she's probably already planning her next con while I'm sitting here devastated by her latest performance. She's counting on me staying broken, staying focused on my own pain instead of thinking about what she's doing to other people. But Sarah has seriously underestimated what happens when you turn a basically decent person into someone with absolutely nothing to lose. The fake miscarriage text is such an obvious manipulation tactic that it actually makes me laugh, which is probably not the reaction Sarah was hoping for. She's trying to make me feel guilty and responsible for something that probably never existed in the first place. It's like being blamed for ruining a movie that was never actually filmed, except the movie was supposed to be my life and the director was a sociopath with excellent acting skills. This is the moment when I stop being the guy who got conned and start being the guy who's going to make sure justice gets served with a side of poetic irony. Sarah has spent 2 years studying me, learning my weaknesses, figuring out exactly how to destroy me most efficiently. But she's also given me 2 years to study her, and now I'm about to put that knowledge to very good use. Some people push the wrong person too far and discover that revenge requires the right tools. Lucky for me, I'm about to realize that Sarah left behind everything I need. The treasure trove of revenge materials. I start going through the stuff Sarah left behind, and it's like Christmas morning for someone whose hobby is revenge. In her rush to escape after delivering that fake miscarriage blow, she abandoned a collection of items that basically amount to a how-to guide for destroying her own life. The woman who spent 2 years planning my downfall just handed me everything I need to return the favor. First discovery is a folder tucked behind some books on our shared bookshelf. Inside is what appears to be Sarah's backup resume, and reading it is like discovering a masterpiece of creative writing. According to this document, Sarah has worked at accounting firms that don't exist, has certifications from institutions I can't find online, and has references from people with phone numbers that lead to disconnected voicemails. She created an alternate reality version of herself on paper, complete with fictional achievements and imaginary professional relationships. The resume is so creatively fraudulent, it's almost impressive. Sarah claims to have managed budgets for companies that went out of business before she supposedly worked there. She lists software expertise in programs that don't exist and language skills and dialects she definitely doesn't speak. Reading through her professional qualifications is like watching someone try to build a career out of pure imagination and really confident lying. The woman turned job applications into fiction writing.